All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day two of the 2024 Bahamas Sunfish Nationals. I'm standing here with Coach Dallas. Dallas, tell me a little bit about yesterday. Of course, this is day two. Tell me a little bit about what took place yesterday.
Man, yesterday was a lot of fun. I enjoyed running the races. I enjoyed watching the races. I know everyone that tuned in enjoyed it. The competition was so close. What we love from a regatta is tight competition. We don't like when someone runs away with all the races
Right.
and everyone's fighting for second or third, but we had Craig Ferguson, last year's defending champion, Tanaj Manos, and Joss Knowles all won races yesterday.
Wow.
So going into today, those three guys, I wouldn't say they have the top three spots locked up, but they are quite a bit ways ahead of the rest of the fleet. So it'll be fun to see how the three of them shake up today. I would expect, again, multiple winners today, similar conditions, good breeze, a little cooler. So I think the kids are excited, probably a little nervous, but we're looking forward to the competition. There's a lot of people in the middle of the fleet that are tied with each other, and 1 point here, 1 point there, so there's a lot to be gained today. The green fleet is super tight between Tiandre and Kai, two rookie sailors who are sailing extremely well. There's only 2 points between them, so they're fighting for the championship in the green fleet. Yesterday went really smoothly. We got 4 races off, nice long races, no disqualifications.
Wow.
We were excited about it. I know the footage was amazing. We're looking forward to something similar today.
Awesome. Well, you've heard it from Coach Dallas. Don't take his word for it, though. Stay tuned. We got some race highlights that's coming up right now. All right, so I'm standing here with some sailors from Nassau. I'm going to ask the coach to go ahead and introduce himself and let me know a little bit about the experience so far.
All right. Coach Pedro here from the Bahamas National Sailing School. We are here at the 2024 Sunfish Junior Nationals. I have 2 of the sailors that we came down from Nassau, 2 out of 8, that is. And we had 1 day of racing down, 4 races in. And today we got another 3 more races to go. And these guys are all battling for that top 3 finish, of course. So a lot of close racing out there yesterday and beautiful conditions this morning. And looking forward to see what the rest of the day holds.
Hi guys, I'm Craig. I was here last today. Gave me a little bit of challenge. There was a big lefty that always came at the top mark, and I didn't really understand it for a few races, but I think I got it down now, and I'm happy to fight with Joss and Tanaj.
Awesome. So, yeah, if you've been watching any of the races from yesterday, you can see that Craig is right up there. They've been trading places. I mean, all the races yesterday, we had, different persons coming out on top, and so they were really trading places for the top 3. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me. I know you're probably new. This is your first time sailing Exuma?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me and tell me a little bit about what you've been experiencing so far.
Good day, guys. My name is Rico. This has been my first time sailing in Exuma. So far, I love the conditions, not like Nassau, so it's been a pleasure sailing in beautiful Exuma conditions. And yesterday, I put up a good fight. Could have been a bit better, but due to the winds, I was struggling a little bit. But hopefully, I'll do better today and try my best.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. This is the Nassau team. They're here. They're enjoying this beautiful Exuma weather. They're enjoying sailing in one of the most beautiful harbors here in the Bahamas. Stay tuned with the broadcast. We've got more race action coming to you right after this.
just hit it
Yeah,
there.
just mute it from there.
Okay. So it's just different from your food. Okay.
All right,
Alvin, you ready?
Come to me.
Good afternoon. That was the start of the 5th Sunfish. Yeah, so clean start. Everybody had a clear start. We have a couple sails stacking off to the right side. Might be the favorite side there. 197 pH down at the right corner of your screen. Just talk. Getting on starboard talk. That's good. Okay. So yeah, this is the Sunfish Fleet race 5 of the day. First race for the day though. Nice breeze. Look like we have, I'd say, anywhere around 15, 16 knots of breeze. They're moving very nice. Should be about a 10-15 minute upwind. Got some of the green flitters going past there. Okay, so I can't tell who that is who just talked down on the starboard. Looks to be kind of a header though.
Right, I'm joining Alvin here for race number 5. How you doing, Alvin?
Doing good.
Good to have you out here today. I had to do it all by myself yesterday, man. So good to have someone to talk to.
Yes, sir.
So we had a clean start, race number 5. What are we seeing so far?
About 15, 16 knots of breeze coming from kind of the east. And yeah, they're moving nicely. Like you said, it was a clear start. I can't tell who in the lead right now.
So the white boat that just tacked, that's Craig, and underneath him is Joss, and then I believe over on the left side, that's Tanaj.
Okay, so they're ready, tooling already.
Yeah, not surprising. That's what we saw all day yesterday in all 3 races. Those 3 guys were trading blows the whole upwind, pretty even. You think anyone has an advantage today with the conditions we got?
Probably Tanaj. He on the bigger side, maybe. But Craig, they could handle themselves, so.
Yeah. I mean, it was windier yesterday, and they still, Tanaj didn't win all the races, so.
Yeah.
I think today they'll be just fine. I know Joss had his gens on yesterday. He's gone full rig today, so we'll see if that makes a difference. And then we still got right here at the bottom of your screen, I believe that's Caden. Caden Knowles. Ahead of him would be Rico, and then that's Silas right at the bottom of your screen. I know Aiden and Caden and Rico are all pretty close behind the top 3 guys. So if they can have a couple of good races, they might be able to, if one of them can crack into the top 3, I think it's going to be Caden, because he had a couple of fourths yesterday, and he had the DNS, unfortunately, which he should be able to get rid of if we can get at least 2 races in. So when he drops that, I think he's going to climb the leaderboard pretty quickly.
Silas look like he's facing trouble behind bar there. Should talk.
Yeah, they got a long way to go to the buoy. It doesn't make sense to stay there very long. Looks like, yeah, everyone likes to be on starboard tack right now. And then who's that coming right there? Number 0, that's Dai. So we found a hole in Dai's boat yesterday, fixed it last night. It's a little patched up, so I expect him to be able to maintain a little bit more speed. You could tell yesterday, the first race, he started off really well, had a 4th, and then he just progressively got slower as his boat filled with water. So it's always a problem with the Sunfish. Not like the Opties, where you can just see the water in the boat and bail it out. With the Sunfish and the lasers, the water gets inside the hull, and you can't really tell you're taking on water sometimes.
Tanaj crossing.
Yeah. So far, Tanaj would be in the lead. Craig would be in second, and Joss would be in third. So as the standings are now, Joss has 6 points, Tanaj has 9, and Craig has 10. So there's a little bit of a cushion for Joss, but he definitely doesn't want to finish below second or third, I think, if he wants to maintain his lead, because I'm sure Craig and Tanaj are they're gonna try to win a race. And you can see how far ahead those top 3 guys are. And Craig is in third with 10 points. The next closest sailor after him has 28 points, so they're pretty far behind. Yep, and then you can see the Green Fleet standings. Tiandre and Kai are quite close, only 2 points separating those 2 guys. So I think they're going to be looking for each other on the race course more than anybody else today. Trying to make sure that they finish ahead of each other so they can secure the Green Fleet Championship. And then at the back, we got Dwayne, Kaylee, and Kaylee, also very close in points. So we'll see how that shakes up. There's a third-place trophy on the line for one of those guys and gals. Only 2 female sailors in the whole fleet. Kaylee Burrows and Kaylee Gray from the Exuma Sailing Club. We hope to see more ladies getting into sailing. You think that'll happen in the future, Alvin?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. The ladies make great sailors. They're very disciplined, very smart. All right, so we can see the mark in the middle of our screen here. It's not as close up under Stocking Island as it was yesterday, so we're not going to have as many wind shadows and weird shifts. It should be pretty clean air at the mark. Should be a little easier for the guys to manage. Yesterday, there was definitely some trouble, some pile-ups at the mark. A lot of boats hit the mark, which happens when you get up there. The wind drops out suddenly, and then you can't control your boat as much. So we'll see what happens today. There's Caden Knowles right there at the bottom of your screen. Great shot there. And we got 5252. That's Rico. Just crossed over Aiden Sumner. That's the 3 BNSS sailors. You think Rico can make the mark from there?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's got a double tack. So that's Craig right there, just tacked on the lay. So he's going to be the first run around the buoy. Tanaj is going to be second. And Tanaj had trouble with this yesterday. It looks like did he hit his rudder?
No. I don't
Okay.
think so.
And there's Joss. Joss looked like he overstood the port lay line a little bit, so he's going to dip down, and he should be the third boat at the mark. I think Rico's right there, but it looks like Joss is around clean. So now it's on to the downwind. Yep, there's Rico. And the downwinds were really fun to watch yesterday. They were very close. Everybody was neck and neck. We had some great shots of a line of boats coming downwind, and they were trading positions the entire time. And even if you were the first one to the gate yesterday, you didn't guarantee you were going to be the first one at the next mark, because these guys were just trading out the lead the entire upwind. I saw you talking to Keanu. You giving him any tips?
Yeah. So the first thing, him and I was telling him about, like, don't just sit there waiting for the course to get set down. There's a lot you can learn.
Yep.
Like 5-10 minutes before the start.
Yep.
Stuff has happened during the start, so just always be aware.
Yeah.
So
They definitely have a lot of time to test the line. They had at least 10 minutes to go up and down the line, and we tried our best to make the line as square as possible. But there's always going to be a slight shift right at the last second, and one end's going to jump up ahead, so you got to be ready for it. What do you think of Tyrese's performance? Just came out of Opties, super small, and he has been in the top, 6 or 7 on several races. He's actually doing really well.
yeah, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, 5, 6, 8, 8 for him. That's really good.
He's one of I might be the smallest person here too.
Yeah, him or Emmett, and he's beaten Emmett in pretty much every race except for maybe the last one.
Yeah.
So Emmett had his number in the Opties, but it looked like Tyrese might be a really good Sunfish sailor. So we're impressed with how he's handling it.
In another year, he could be scary.
Yeah, especially if he grows like you and he gets really tall.
McKinsey blood.
That's right. And his brother, I'm sure, is glad to have him out of Opties so he can try to win the Opties now. That's Trey Sean, who's a really good Opti sailor. We haven't seen Emmett yet. Where is he? Because this is 07 is Lando. Lando changed his sail out. He had a lot of trouble with his boat yesterday. So it's good to see him a little further up and not having as much trouble. And then 31, the pink boat. There's Kaylee Burrows. So she's doing very well. Her boat's moving very, very nicely.
I think that's first for Green Fleet.
Yeah, I think you're right. And there's Dallas Clark, number 19, and then under him is 77. That's Dwayne Bowe, who's also in the Green Fleet. And then number 7 with the Bahamas colored sail, that's Tiandre, the current leader in Green Fleet. But Tiandre is more concerned with number 33. That's Kai Harvey, who's the guy that's right behind him in the Green Fleet. So he really just wants to beat him. It doesn't really matter if the other guys finish ahead of him. So we haven't seen Kai yet, so hopefully he's right behind these guys.
We still ain't see Emmett yet.
I don't know. Did he sneak around and we didn't see him? I don't think he would be back here unless he had a serious breakdown. There's Kaylee Gray, so she's doing a whole lot better. We were giving her some tips as well. I mean, what do you think is the main thing in the Green Fleet that if you just do one thing slightly better, you'll be ahead of everybody?
I definitely say Telltale's upwind.
Yeah.
Like if you could stay on the wind better than everyone else, then you'd be miles ahead of everyone else.
That's actually exactly what I told Kaylee Gray. I told her, like, when we're looking at the Green Fleet sailing, the booms are out very far. They're not pointing well to the wind. So if you just fix that, you'll end up passing a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
So we'll see if she puts that into practice. All right, there's back with our leaders. There's Craig, and he's surrounded by a couple of those red, white, and blue sails. I know that's Tanaj right behind him with 5-4, and then 5-2 is Rico. Joss must be off to the left or something. Yeah, they're moving well, but definitely not as fast as yesterday. We tried to make the course slightly smaller to make sure they don't get, worn out and we have time to do all the races before the ceremony tonight. But thankfully, good breeze, no rain. Looks really good.
Just 3 races today.
3 races, yeah. That's the plan. Then we'll get all 7 in. That'll be good. So, yeah, Craig has always been one of the fastest downwind sailors. What makes someone fast on the downwind, Alvin?
Well, first thing I'd say is just starting off, weight is number 1. The lighter you are, just the faster you can go.
Yep.
But if you start to understand a lot of, like, I guess, flow and, like, body movement and stuff, and you understand that, you go a whole lot faster. See, like, he pressing his way to leeward, and then he probably can bring it back, and that'll just give you a little pump.
So we're looking out our window right here, and a lot of the guys are choosing to go on the other side of the start boat right now. I don't think anybody did that yesterday. So they feel that the wind has moved enough to give them a slightly faster angle by going on the other side of the start boat. I did see Joss, and I also did see number 33, Kai, who's actually way up in the mix today. So he's well ahead of Tiandre in the Green Fleet points. So there's Joss, Craig, and Tanaj, as usual. They're right outside our window right now. These guys have been fun to watch, man. Super, super competitive. I know Craig has enjoyed the competition. They all want to win really, really badly, but they're all sailing at their top level right now, and I think it's going to be really fun for them to go back and watch this footage and learn a lot and see how they're doing compared to the people around them. Let's see if we can find Emmett. Hopefully he didn't break down. He's got to be around here somewhere. In this breeze, he should be doing pretty well. Yeah, there's Dai and Caden. Very close to each other. Over on the left is number 12. That's Tyrese. And above him, I assume that's Keanu. Tyrese, boy, he actually, I think he came to the mark behind Keanu, and he's already gone way past him on the downwind. That's definitely a size difference right there. I mean, Keanu isn't big, but Tyrese is very light, so that definitely would serve him well on the downwind. He's probably going to pass these 2 guys as well. So if he keeps it up, he might be fighting for 4th place at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm looking for Emmett. I don't see him, and I don't see a sail down or anything like that.
197.
197 BAH. It's a white sail. Oh, and there's he had a breakdown. I see a boat way over by the beach on Stalking Island getting pulled by Tamara, so I think he had a breakdown. So she's trying to call me on the radio now. So hopefully it's something that they can fix, and he can get into the next race. That's bad luck.
Are they allowed to go through the start line?
They are, yeah, it's open. But I did have a word with one of our sailors yesterday. He was coming downwind pretty far in the back of the fleet, and Craig was coming up in first place to finish, and they actually had a collision. And the sailor that was coming downwind was in the wrong. But luckily, it didn't affect Craig's finish. He still finished first. Because even if he would have protested the other sailor, it wouldn't have helped him if he dropped a spot. And Tanaj or Joss passed him right at the end, and he came second overall. And even if he protests the sailor that's almost in last place, it wouldn't have helped him. So luckily, he still won. But I did have a word with the guy that was coming down and told him, remember, it is an open gate, but if someone's coming to the finish, just go around and get out of the way. There's no sense in going right through there. All right, they're approaching the gate. So based on everybody going on the other side of the trawler, what do you think they're going to do at the gate? You think everyone's going to choose to go on the right side of the course or the left side? Or do you think they'll just split it?
Probably. All right, so 2 definitely can go on one side, and then there's always that odd person to try and split away and gain.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem pretty spread out. So I think what we were seeing yesterday is there were like 2 of them coming to the gate at the same time, and they would split, and then the guy behind him would choose, I guess, which one gave him more space and less bad wind, and that's the way he would go. And then what we saw mostly was everyone that even went to the right side of the gate, they would tack pretty quickly and try to get back on the other side. All right, so they're back upwind already. Joss is on the right, which means I'm betting Craig. There's Craig over there, and there's Tanaj in the middle. So, yeah. How is Tanaj that far upwind? How is Joss behind all these guys already? He must have had a bad rounding or something.
Penalty turns or something.
Yeah, maybe someone drugged the gate. We got to make sure the gate's still lined up. Yeah.
Tanaj is covering everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tyrese, I got to have a word. Is that Tyrese or Keanu? I think that's Tyrese. Yeah, he was having trouble yesterday getting his sail in. Look how far off he is from the gate already. This sailor that came on top of him has already killed him. So you got to get around that gate and get your sail in quickly and point up. Otherwise, you're just sailing yourself out the race. So that was Craig just dipped behind somebody else. So there's 2 red, white, and blue sails up there. I think that was that Silas that was up there with those guys?
Yeah, or it might be Rico.
Right, Rico. So that's what I meant. Yeah, so I think Rico might be in second place right now. And he had a good finish yesterday. He was actually in the lead on one of the downwinds. So if we see if he can hold him off, that would be great. Here's Kai going around the gate now. He's the current leader in the green fleet for this race. So that'll be interesting to see if he can hold on. Ooh, got a close call right there. Dang. One thing I told Kaylee, she's going to paint her boat pink. She better not hit anybody because it's easy to identify who it is. If you hit you, you can just say the pink boat. So she stands out. So if you're going to stand out, you better sail clean. I'm going to talk to her about the rocking too. She seems to be rocking her boat back and forth a lot. Now, where's she going?
To the other gate.
Yeah, so she passed that gate, which was right next to her, and went all the way over here to this side. So that was just extra distance. She didn't have to sail. And then she even did a super low rounding. Why is Kai right here again? Because he'd already rounded. Huh. Strange. He must have missed it or something. And I think someone grabbed the buoy by accident because it was not this far when I said it. It's very spread out right now. And look at everybody is going. Yeah, I don't know. But everyone's going away from the mark that they're closest to. Maybe the angle is just deceiving, but it just seems like they're sailing extra distance.
Left side definitely look favored.
All right, well, now they got the long beat back upwind all the way up to the windward mark. We'll see who's in the lead when they get way up there. Wind seems to have dropped slightly. So the heavier guys are going to have to work really hard to keep their boat moving fast.
Hammock can like that for the day, for the next race.
I hope he can sail. All right. That's Nash Cartwright. Switch boats. His boat yesterday was leaking really badly. He was draining for almost 10 minutes when we came on shore, so we gave him another one. Unfortunately, the only boats we have left on the racks are the ones no one wants, so, you know, It's not going to be great, but hopefully it works a little bit better than the one he had yesterday. Unfortunately, he did bring a really good boat from Nassau, but the mast step was giving them some issues, so he wasn't able to use it. So we had to borrow one of our practice boats.
A lot of tiller movement.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Silas Monroe right there. Family to the great Captain Emmett Monroe, who just passed away, legendary skipper and boat owner in the A-class, the Courageous boats. So I'm sure he'd be proud to see his youngster sailing there. All right, here's the leaders. We've got the two red, white, and blue sails right there. Most likely that's combination of Caden, Aiden, or Rico. And then up to the right is a white sail. I believe that's Joss. And then that's another red, white, and blue sail. So yeah, all of the BNSS sailors are right up in here. There's Caden Knowles on your right, Aiden Sumner on your left. That must be Tanaj right there. And Craig. So Craig's at the mark already. Wow. Oh no, that's the start. So he's halfway up. Yeah. All right, so off there on the left then, that must be Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who seems to be in pretty good shape.
I think Joss might have banked right.
He must have, yeah. I don't think we can see him.
How much in speed do you think they're making right now?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, they're moving pretty well. Okay, so that we had it backwards. That's Rico down here. And so that must be Tanaj up on the lee of Craig. Yeah, Joss is actually far to the left. He's got some ground to make up. He's actually in 6th place right now. Yep, he doesn't need that. I mean, if that's his worst throw out, that would be okay, but definitely don't want that.
Rico Todd.
There was a slight shift to the left when I originally set the windward mark versus when the race started. We'd move the mark slightly to the left, so that there was a tendency for the wind to look like it was going left. I don't know if that stayed or not, because everybody right now is definitely more on the left side of the course.
Probably oscillating.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday it was surprisingly steady. It was 10 degrees, and we never really had to reset the mark very much. It stayed very constant, which was nice. All right, so it's good to have some new faces up in the mix. Craig and Tanaj still leading the race right now, but Aiden, Caden, and Rico are making a case, and they're trying to finish in the top 3. So nobody, except for Rico. Rico did it once yesterday, but nobody else has finished in the top 3 besides Craig, Tanaj, and Joss. So they're trying to crack into there to see if they can move up in the standings.
Mark far.
Yeah. Yeah, the gate to the upwind is quite a haul. Yeah, so there's Joss way up there. He might be close to the lay. There's a couple other boats way out there as well. What he needs is some pressure to come over on his side. Maybe a slight lift to the left, and then he can point at the mark, and maybe he'll be able to catch some of these guys. We'll see. So what are they trying to do when they're going upwind? How do you get upwind faster? How do you keep your boat moving fast? How do you not slide downwind? What's the general strategy amongst these guys?
General strategy, I'd say flat boat at all times. Body movement back and forth from the waves if it's that choppy. And then most important thing is strategy and tactics. You could be going fast, but then you probably going fast the wrong way.
Right.
So just knowing which shift can take you closer to the mark at all times, just being on the lifted tack
Yep.
at all times. And you could win a lot of races that way, not banking.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to be sailing the least amount of course. So But right now, it looks like Joss is in at least 4th place. So he's got some ground to make up. That's Rico, I think, just tacked in front of him. Tanaj has a good lead over Craig right now. And then behind Joss, you see Tyrese and Keanu.
Think Tanaj could be able to maintain that lead?
That's a pretty good one, and he's been sailing pretty well on the downwinds, so I'm pretty confident that he'll maintain that lead, even though Craig is very fast on the downwind. But I think that's a good enough lead to hold him off. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the downwind is pretty long, and then you still got to come back up to the trawler so for the finish. So it's not over yet. But yeah, I'd like to be in Tanaj's position for sure. Pretty good. He's sailing very well right now.
All the stuff he learned off of Worlds.
Yeah, definitely learned a lot. And this brand new boat, courtesy of Sandals, definitely helping him out. Brand new set of booms and masts, almost a brand new sail. So yeah, everything's in his favor for sure. And you can see he's not even hiking. He's like 50%. So he's got a lot more leverage if the wind picks up, and he can increase his speed by easing his shoulders out like that. So he's in very, very good shape. He's going to be very close to the mark by the time he does his tack anyway, so he should be able to do an accurate tack for the ley line, which is what you want to be doing. Might as well put a little in the bank just to be sure, so you don't have to do a double tack. You got a nice lead. Don't make sense trying to tack early. All right, he should be good from there. Which tack would you say you're taking the waves on more on your bow? Probably the port tack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily it ain't that choppy.
No, definitely not as bad as yesterday.
And as you get further up, less waves.
Yep.
Probably flat water right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is one of the bigger leads we've seen from a leader. This is at least 30 seconds or so, so we haven't had that very often in this regatta. We've had guys coming around the buoy basically at the same time most of the time. And then here's Rico. Rico's going to be in 3rd place. There's Craig. Craig's going to see if he can catch Tanaj on the downwind. And we're waiting to see how close Aiden, Caden, and Joss are when they all come to the mark. They are probably going to be pretty close.
Joss probably coming from the port lane.
I would think so. All right. Rico is around. Okay, there's Joss. Now let's check the starboard ley line, see how close this guy. Okay, he's clear. So he's going to try to see if he can. Okay, even looks like Tyrese might have caught Aiden. There's Caden on the top. He's on the starboard tack coming down to the ley line now. And then there's another white sail way up there, probably Dai. And Tyrese is going to tack right in front of Caden, I'm sure. Try to gas him as much as he can. All right, so what do you think of Aiden's strategy here, tacking and coming right to the mark on the port ley line?
He might be able to get in. Might be close. He's clear.
Yeah, he's all right. One thing that was amazing to see when we were in Texas is there would be 50 boats doing that and 0 collisions. It's amazing. And not a lot of yelling and hollering. Every once in a while someone would say something, but for the most part everybody was pretty calm and collective. And here comes Keanu. Yeah. Here comes Keanu on port right at the mark. And there's Dai coming fast on starboard. Dai will probably dip underneath them. Oh boy, all right. let's see what happens on the downwind now. See if Rico can maintain his third. See if Craig can catch Tanaj. See if Joss can catch Rico. That is a heck of a lead that those guys have on him. So that's going to be tough to do. And I'm sure Craig is going to pull out all of his tricks now to see if he can pull a little bit of speed out of this boat on the downwind, use his smaller size to his advantage. Tanaj is definitely heavier than Craig. So let's see what happens. I think Tanaj is going to hold on to his lead, and when he goes around that gate, he's just going to make sure he stays on the same tack as Craig all the way to the finish.
Yeah. Probably do a split top.
Yeah, I think he has enough space to do it. Split tack is when he would tack immediately at the mark, and then when the distance is half, he would tack back, and then he would be on the same tack as Craig when he comes around the mark. So, but then Craig could also switch buoys, so you don't know if the split tack would hold or not. But he's going to probably put a loose cover on him. Oh, we got a boat over.
Capsize.
Upwind sailor. All right, who is that? 77, Dwayne Bain. I think he had a capsize early on, right at the start, too. Right, moving again, good.
Oh, another one at the top, Mom.
Oh, that's one of our Bahamas colored sails. So there's only 3 of those out there: Tiandre, Keanu, and Tyrese.
I think DeAndre.
Maybe. They're still coming to the mark. All right, right here. Number 19, Dallas Clark, of our former Opti sailors, transitioning into the Sunfish. He had a lot of trouble yesterday. Finished down towards the bottom of the pack. He's the last sailor in the Gold Fleet right now. Definitely had a hard time with the wind. His rig kept slipping, so he had a lot of slop in the top of his rig. He wasn't really able to deal with that on the water. Okay, so that was Lando, not Lando, Adron. I forgot about him. Adron has one of those sails too, so he tipped over, I think. But there's Lando around. There's Adron coming around now. So that last colorful sail will be Tiandre. And then let's see if we can see where number 33 is yet. I don't think he's gone around the mark, but he might have. This might be him right here. So that would be fun if that's the 2 Green Fleet leaders coming to the mark at the same time, and I think it is. All right, Tiandre is around. And who's that? Is that number 33?
Yeah.
Yep, so that's Kai right behind him. So these are the Green Fleet leaders right here, neck and neck at the second mark. Kai needs to get around quickly, get that sail out, get his boat moving. Here comes Dallas Clark.
This is our first year having Green Fleet.
Yeah. Last year, everybody just sailed together. All right, so I'm looking out of my race committee window right now. I got Aiden Sumner coming on one side, Tyrese McKenzie going on the other side. Looks like Tyrese has moved ahead. And then in our leaders, we still got Tanaj in the lead for sure. He's maintained pretty much the same level of opening on Craig. Joss is still in 4th, and Tyrese is closing on him fast. Wonder if something went wrong with his boat. Anyway, you're going to see him do a whole lot of adjustments after this race. I guarantee that. That sail's going to come down about 4 times. But like we said before, you got that throwout race, so you don't need to panic. If you have a bad one, you can just get rid of it and get right back in the race. All right, looks like everybody except for one boat is around the mark now. I still see Emmett is over on Stocking Island. I don't know what went wrong over there, but we'll get a report on that. Looks like he might be leaving the beach now, actually. So hopefully he'll be back in time for the next race. This is definitely his type of breeze right here. So what do you think is the biggest difference for these guys coming out of Optis into the Sunfish?
Bigger boat, so more power. So that's definitely adjusting they'd have to get used to. Because they probably were the big guys in Optis, but now it's the opposite.
Right.
They're the small guys. So.
Yep. Definitely a lot faster, right?
Yeah.
A lot faster. So I mean, they're so used to maneuvering the opties on a dime at the starting line and having the maneuverability to get out of situations, and the Sunfish just don't maneuver quite as quickly. The rudder's very small, so 2 quick sculls on the rudder of a Sunfish isn't going to do what it used to do in an opti. It could be blowing 20 knots and you scull twice in an opti and you could be sailing again, no problem. That's not going to happen in a Sunfish. So definitely some learning for these guys, and then definitely they're going to have to get their core strength up and be able to hike longer and harder.
Lots of hiking.
Lots of hiking. And then, of course, the lasers are even worse. So if they're going to be doing either of those 2 fleets, they're going to have to start getting in the gym, building some body mass, and doing some sit-ups on their spare time. All right, there's our green fleeters, neck and neck on the downwind. There's Tiandre and Kai. Should be fun to see how they shape up when it's all said and done. I think either way, they're both going to be pretty happy with a first or a second in the green fleet on their first Sunfish regatta. Tiandre technically did sail last year, but he sailed with an adult in the boat, and he didn't count because he was like brand new into the class. Sorry about that. All right, so our leaders are around the gate, and they're coming back up to the finish. So Alvin, I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to record the finish.
Okay.
So you take them to the finish line. We'll be back.
I think that's Tyrese coming around. So at the top of your screen, I think that's Tanaj hiking out. Look like a big line of puffy coming down in right now, or going up in. Hiking out hard, first place. Then we got Joss working out, trying to catch Rico. And then Craig in the middle to the top of your screen. So coming around now is Keanu Hutchison of the ESC, and then I think that's Aiden or Kaden, one of them, and Dai right behind. And they just let Dai sneak in and got probably the best round in. Silas coming on the screen. Close encounter. So this is Silas Monroe of the BNSS coming around. Nice job. The wind might have picked up. I see everyone hiking a lot harder now. Nash caught right. Good opti sailor. I think he knew the Sunfish. Water clear. And he's around back on the upwind, last upwind for the finish. Maybe might catch Silas, maybe not. Our top green fleet is still fighting literally neck and neck. So we heading to the finish now, and this might probably be our most dominant finish we had for the regatta so far. He has a very nice lead. Coming through the finish line now. And that's Tanaj with the first place. if it stocks up how it is right now, I think Tanaj might probably have the overall lead right now. Very good sailor. And coming through the finish line next is Craig Ferguson of the BNSS. He might be in second now that I think about it. He might have overtook Joss. It depends on what Joss, if he could catch Rico or not. Oh, okay, so yeah. Rico and third. He managed to hit top 3 again on podium in one of the races. So that's a nice finish for him. He stayed consistent like that. He probably might hit podium overall. And then in fourth, coming through the line now is Joss Knowles for the ESC, who was our overnight leader, but I don't think so anymore. But that'll be his throat, so it ain't over yet. This is Tyrese. Oh, he having a good race too. Fresh out of Optis, first time in Sunfish. His first regatta in Sunfish. And he fighting for the top 5 right now. That's Aiden, yeah. And he have him on starboard, close finish. Aiden gonna have to duck him for sure, so Tyrese definitely got him. Oh, and he talks. Yeah, Tyrese got him. Very close finish. Ty. And I think that was 7th place. Might be another close finish. This is Keanu. And I think Caden. Oh no, Keanu got him. Next up, look like it's gonna be Silas. Coming on the pin end at the start line of the finish line. And he's through. This is Nash, I think. Yeah. Fresh out of Optis. Now stocking for the finish line on Port Talk. All of them coming to the pin end of the finish line. Look like he's struggling, though he is one of the smaller guys. So definitely have to work harder. He's through. Everyone just talking about the race now. Who is this in the white sail? This might be. Is it Kai? No. 07. I can't tell who this is coming through right now. Oh, I think that's Orlando. Yeah. You changed your sail, that's why. So yeah, that's Orlando Ferguson right there. And then coming up look like Tiandre, who I think is currently in first for Grand Fleet right now. Him and Adrian, Tiandre talk. Let's see if he builds speed. Yeah, Tiandre got it. Okay. Yeah. So that's first for Grand Fleet right there. And then second place for Grand Fleet is Kai coming up. He's going to be next to the line. Sailing really good for his first regatta. That's Kai through. And then next up we have Dallas Clark, one of who was our senior uppy sailor, fresh in the Sunfish, one of the smaller guys. And that's Dallas through. Right here is, I think that's Kaylee. Yeah, that's the pink boat. One of our female sailors. Plus she's like fresh to sailing. Doing really well. And she's coming through right now. Yeah. Through. Good race from her. I think that might be everyone. One more? Two more? Oh yeah, Kaylee Gray, the next one of our female sailors. Also fresh at sailing, doing really good. Talking. Look like she might be having a little bit of trouble. And Kaylee Gray is now through. That was, yeah, the last finisher right there. Okay, so for race 5, our top 3 finishers were Tanaj Manos, first place finisher. Then second that race, we had Craig Ferguson of the BNSS. And then third place was Rico Major, who is also from the BNSS. So we'll be right back and like with a quick break for race 6. Uh, about 15, 16 knots of breeze coming from kind of the east. And yeah, they moving nicely. Like you said, it was a clear start. I can't tell who in the lead right now.
So the white boat that just tacked, that's Craig, and underneath him is Joss, and then I believe over on the left side, that's Tanaj.
Okay, so they're already dueling already.
Yeah, not surprising. That's what we saw all day yesterday in all three races. Those three guys were trading blows the whole upwind, pretty even. You think anyone has an advantage today with the conditions we got?
Probably Tanaj. He on the bigger side, maybe. But Craig, they can handle themselves. So
Yeah. I mean, it was windier yesterday, and they still, Tanaj didn't win all the races. So
Yeah.
I think today they'll be just fine. I know Joss had his gens on yesterday. He's gone full rig today. So we'll see if that makes a difference. And then we still got right here at the bottom of your screen, I believe that's Caden. Caden Knowles. Ahead of him would be Rico, and then that's Silas right at the bottom of your screen. I know Aiden and Caden and Rico are all pretty close behind the top three guys. So if they can have a couple of good races, they might be able to, if one of them can crack into the top three, I think it's going to be Caden because he had a couple of fourths yesterday, and he had the DNS, unfortunately, which he should be able to get rid of if we can get at least 2 races in. So when he drops that, I think he's going to climb the leaderboard pretty quickly.
Silas look like he's facing trouble behind bar there.
Yeah, they got a long way to go to the buoy. It doesn't make sense to stay there very long. Looks like, yeah, everyone likes to be on starboard tack right now. And then who's that coming right there? Number 0, that's Dai. So we found a hole in Dai's boat yesterday, fixed it last night. It's a little patched up, so I expect him to be able to maintain a little bit more speed. You could tell yesterday, the first race, he started off really well, had a 4th, and then he just progressively got slower as his boat filled with water. So it's always a problem with the Sunfish, not like the Opties where you can just see the water in the boat and bail it out. With the Sunfish and the lasers, the water gets inside the hull and you can't really tell you're taking on water sometimes.
Tanaj crossing.
Yeah, so far Tanaj would be in the lead. Craig would be in second, and Joss would be in third. So as the standings are now, Joss has 6 points, Tanaj has 9, and Craig has 10. So there's a little bit of a cushion for Joss, but he definitely doesn't want to finish below second or third, I think, if he wants to maintain his lead, because I'm sure Craig and Tanaj are they're gonna try to win a race. And you can see how far ahead those top 3 guys are. And Craig is in third with 10 points. The next closest sailor after him has 28 points, so they're pretty far behind. Yep, and then you can see the Green Fleet standings. Tiandre and Kai are quite close, only 2 points separating those 2 guys. So I think they're going to be looking for each other on the race course more than anybody else today, trying to make sure that they finish ahead of each other so they can secure the Green Fleet Championship. And then at the back, we got Dwayne, Kaylee, and Kaylee, also very close in points. So we'll see how that shakes up. There's a 3rd place trophy on the line for one of those guys and gals. Only 2 female sailors in the whole fleet. Kaylee Burrows and Kaylee Gray from the Exuma Sailing Club. We hope to see more ladies getting into sailing. You think that'll happen in the future, Alvin?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. The ladies make great sailors. They're very disciplined, very smart. All right, so we can see the mark in the middle of our screen here. It's not as close up under Stocking Island as it was yesterday, so we're not going to have as many wind shadows and weird shifts. It should be pretty clean air at the mark. Should be a little easier for the guys to manage. Yesterday there was definitely some trouble, some pile-ups at the mark. A lot of boats hit the mark, which happens when you get up there. The wind drops out suddenly, and then you can't control your boat as much. So we'll see what happens today. There's Caden Knowles right there at the bottom of your screen. Great shot there. And we got 5252. That's Rico. Just crossed over Aiden Sumner. That's the 3 BNSS sailors. You think Rico can make the mark from there?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's got a double tack. So that's Craig right there, just tacked on the lay. So he's going to be the first run around the buoy. Tanaj is going to be second. And Tanaj had trouble with this yesterday. It looks like did he hit his rudder?
No.
Okay. And there's Joss. Joss looked like he overstood the port lay line a little bit, so he's going to dip down, and he should be the 3rd boat at the mark. I think Rico's right there. but it looks like Joss is around clean. So now it's on to the downwind. Yep, there's Rico. And the downwinds were really fun to watch yesterday. They were very close. Everybody was neck and neck. We had some great shots of a line of boats coming downwind, and they were trading positions the entire time. And even if you were the first one to the gate yesterday, you didn't guarantee you were going to be the first one at the next mark, because these guys were just trading out the lead the entire upwind. I saw you talking to Keanu. You giving him any tips?
Yeah. So the first thing him and I was telling him about, like, don't just sit there waiting for the course to get set down. There's a lot you can learn.
Yep.
Like 5-10 minutes before the start.
Yep.
Stuff is happening during the start, so just always be aware.
Yeah.
So
They definitely have a lot of time to test the line. They had at least 10 minutes to go up and down the line, and we tried our best to make the line as square as possible. But there's always going to be a slight shift right at the last second, and one end's going to jump up ahead, so you got to be ready for it. What do you think of Tyrese's performance? Just came out of Opties, super small, and he has been in the top, 6 or 7 on several races. He's
Yeah.
actually doing really well.
yeah, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, 5, 6, 8, 8 for him. That's really good.
He's one of the. I might be the smallest person here too.
Yeah, him or Emmett, and he's beaten Emmett in pretty much every race except for maybe the last one.
Yeah.
So Emmett had his number in the Opties, but it looked like Tyrese might be a really good Sunfish sailor. So we're impressed with how he's handling it.
In another year, he could be scary.
Yeah, especially if he grows like you and he gets really tall.
McKenzie blood.
That's right. And his brother, I'm sure, is glad to have him out of Opties so he can try to win the Opties now.
All right, so I'm standing here with Dwayne Bean. Of course, he's one of the sailors from Nassau. He sailed yesterday in the Green Fleet. Dwayne, tell me a little bit about some of your experience yesterday, and then also you're here in Exuma. I'm told this is your first time. Tell me a little bit about what you're experiencing so far. All right, so I'm standing here with some sailors from Nassau. I'm going to ask the coach to go ahead and introduce himself and let me know a little bit about the experience so far.
All right. Coach Pedro here from the Bahamas National Sailing School. We are here at the 2024 Sunfish Junior Nationals. I have 2 of the sailors that we came down from Nassau, 2 out of 8, that is. And we had 1 day of racing down, 4 races in. And today we got another 3 more races to go. And these guys are all battling for that top 3 finish, of course. So a lot of close racing out there yesterday, and beautiful conditions this morning. And looking forward to see what the rest of the day holds.
Hi guys, I'm Craig. I was here last year. The conditions so far have been great. I mean, they're always great in Exuma. I mean, it's Exuma. So the win yesterday gave me a little bit of challenge. There was a big lefty that always came at the top mark, and I didn't really understand it for a few races, but I think I got it down now, and I'm happy to fight with Joss and Tanaj.
Awesome. So, yeah, if you've been watching any of the races from yesterday, you can see that Craig is right up there. They've been trading places. I mean, all the races yesterday, we had, different persons coming out on top. And so they were really trading places for the top 3. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me. I know you're probably new. This is your first time sailing Exuma?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me and tell me a little bit about what you've been experiencing so far.
Good day, guys. My name is Rico. This has been my first time sailing Exuma. So far, I love the conditions, not like Nassau, so it's been a pleasure sailing in beautiful Exuma conditions. And yesterday, I put up a good fight. Could have been a bit better, but due to the winds, I was struggling a little bit. But hopefully, I'll do better today and try my best.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. This is the Nassau team. They're here. They're enjoying this beautiful Exuma weather. They're enjoying sailing in one of the most beautiful harbors here in the Bahamas. Stay tuned with the broadcast. We've got more race action coming to you right after this. All right, so I'm standing here with Dwayne Bean. Of course, he's one of the sailors from Nassau. He sailed yesterday in the Green Fleet. Dwayne, tell me a little bit about some of your experience yesterday, and then also you're here in Exuma. I'm told this is your first time. Tell me a little bit about what you're experiencing so far.
So far I'm loving it. Today is looking like it's gonna be a good day because yesterday morning I really loved it. The breeze was there, but I gotta say I didn't really like it when during the third race the breeze died down. So I'm hoping that the weather keeps up with me today.
Awesome. Where are you right now as it relates to the standings? Like, what do you think you need? What place do you need to come today to secure your spots?
As of now, I'm in third place for Green Fleet, but I'm only behind by 2 points right now. So I'd say that I could come a solid 13th place and I'd be in second or first.
That's excellent. So now, when he says 13th place, of course, the Green Fleet they're racing the same course, but they're being scored separately from the championship fleet. And so, even though he's in 13th, that means in his class or in his fleet, he's still pretty much up there. Well, Dwayne, listen, thanks again. You're here in Exuma for the first time. I hope the Exuma's been treating you well, and congratulations. And look forward to you doing a great job out there.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're back after that break. So to sum up what happened in our first race in the Gold Fleet, we had Tanaj Manos of ESE first place. Then second, that race was Craig Ferguson of the BNSS. Then third, we had Rico Major, also of the BNSS, with third. So, and then in the Green Fleet, with a close finish, we had Tiandre Brown, who was first of the ESC. Then it was Kai Harvey of the BNSS. And then third, we had with one of our female sailors, Kaylee Burrows. And yeah, that was an excellent race from her. One of our female sailors, new to sailing, first regatta. So getting ready with the first start here. I think we're coming down to a minute, or it might already be a minute. Everyone's right on the line. Yeah, that was the goal. Looked like one or two sailors was over. Emmett at the committee, talking away, trying to get away from bar there. Leading looked like might be Joss, but I think that was one of the boats who was over. I'm not sure. I hope it wasn't though. To windward of him is Craig, second place last race, and champion from last year. And 5354, that's Tanaj, going behind everyone, dipping half of the fleet, getting to the right side. Just trying to stay in clean air, get pressure. And also ducking, I think this is Rico, yeah. Yeah, that's Rico. And then 0 is Thai major. So 2 majors sailing right next to each other. Rico look like he's sailing down them now. Okay, Lords attacking again on everyone trying to head for the right side. I guess it's more pressure on that side, or it's a shift, maybe. Silas right there in the pink, white, and blue sail. Yeah, everyone heading to the right side. I don't know. So the reason everyone might be heading to the right side is just because we have stuff in sailing called lifts and headers, and the fastest way to the mark is just sailing all lifts. So they just trying to sail less distance, or it could be a pressure difference on the right hand side. So see, more talking going on, so the wind probably did shift right. Yeah, I see everyone talking on the starboard now, so it probably was a right shift. And Tanaj just came out of nowhere. Okay, looked like he's leading the race now. Definitely caught something on the right side. More pressure, or probably a lift. Rico ducking Emmett. He missed the last race because it was a hole in his boat, and we don't really have no real way to fix it, but he's still sailing. I think we have duct tape on it right now, so I don't know how good that can hold up. But yeah, Tanaj leading the race right now. 50%, nice heel. Not working too hard. Just body movement on the waves. And then right here is Keanu. Look like he's doing a lot better. I was talking to him after the last race. Made Rico talk away. And then I think this is Tyrese. Oh no, Tyrese? Look like he might be top 3 right now. That'd be good if he could hold it. Just came in the Sunfish, one of the newer guys. Yeah, it's a big right shift. Everyone talking now. But then we also have someone coming in from the left. I think that might be Joss. Yeah, Rico. And I think this is Keanu. Yeah. And I think Aiden. In the mix right there. Emmett to Winwood. On Port Talk. And 5016. Who is that? Yeah, that's Aiden there. Ducking Keanu. Yeah, Joss. If that a left shift came in at the top mark, you could even see it on your screen, like it's like some pressure streaks coming on. And they flying right now, boy. So right now in the lead is Joss Knowles, then Tanaj, then Craig, and then Dai. Yeah. Josh just putting the power down and just going across everyone. Pure speed and power. Get back for the last race. Tanaj talking now, getting in dirty air from Joss.
How we looking, Alvin?
Looking real good. Shifty.
Fast start. The wind really picked up. Joss looks like he's in pretty good shape. Got his Jens rig put back on. He was having a lot of rigging issues on that last race. But yeah, that's Dai right there.
Yeah.
All right, good for him. Very good. We had one over the line, Kaylee Burrows at the start, so we had an individual recall, but she came back and cleared the line, so she's all good.
I think that might be Tyrese up in the mix too. He's right there. Having a really good race. Okay, so that was Aiden right there who talked on the port, right on top of Keanu, covering him. Lots of hiking going on. Some of the smaller guys. Keanu ain't big, but he ain't small. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, he getting rolled. Die to win with them. And then our leaders, Joss and Tanaj. Tanaj being the most win-worthy in the middle of the screen. Red, white, and blue sail. And Joss furthest to the right in the white sail, number 17. I don't see Craig, but I'm sure he's still around. So it looks to me coming first to the mark is going to be Joss Knowles of the Exuma Sailing Club. Yeah, he's just talking around on the port bay line. Getting ready to go downwind, yeah. And next in is Tanaj, closely behind. And then closely behind Tanaj is Craig. So yeah, the top three guys fighting again. Let's see if Joss can hold his lead on the downwind, or if anyone can catch him. Might shuffle a little bit. Next is Dai, and then I think Tyrese. Yeah, so Tyrese having a really, really good race. Top 5. I hope he could hold it. Might be his best race. And then after him is Aiden from the BNSS. Next around, we have Rico 5252 in the red and white blue sail, red stripe boat. Then closely behind him is Emmett 197 BAH, and then 16 is Keanu Hutchison. Yeah. And then coming next around is Nash. This might be his best race. Fresh out of Opti, I'm pretty sure. And then coming next is Caden Knowles. Right behind him is 07.
Okay, we had a little breakdown with Mr. Dwayne Bain, a collision with another green fleeter, broke his tiller, so he just came in, did a quick swap, but he's going to keep sailing, so let's see if number 77 can catch anybody. That'd be quite a feat. He's one lap behind already, but a lot of race still to go. What's going on in the race, Alvin?
So at the top mark, it was Joss in first, and then Tanaj was closely behind, and also Craig was like right there. It was like a boat man apart.
As usual.
Yeah, and then we have Tyrese in fifth, and Dai was in fourth.
All right, where's Silas and Caden and Aiden and all those guys?
They came around like, I'd say 7 to 10, somewhere around there.
Okay. Good. This race is going much faster. It's 10 minutes to the market, or even less. It's only 15 minutes now, and that includes the 5-minute countdown for the start. So 10 minutes into the race, and half the fleet's around the windward mark already, and the downwind, I'm betting, is going to be super fast. They're approaching us now. Looks like they're choosing to go on the right side, or I guess if they're coming towards us, their left side of the trawler. Joss seems to be holding the lead right now, barely. But yeah, him, Craig, and Tanaj are super close. This is what we saw every race yesterday. These guys just trading blows. Yeah. There we go. There's Tanaj, and it looks yeah. There's Dai right behind him. Emmett's in the race this time, so apparently Emmett had a huge hole in his boat, which is new. Probably put it on the ground on top of a rock or a big sharp stump or something, and then it punched through the hull, unfortunately. So he's got some duct tape under there. I don't know if it's going to hold. Luckily, he's, this is his first Sunfish regatta. So
Dolphins on the lock.
Dolphin, cool. Yeah, look at that. Awesome. Good spot. It's classic Elizabeth Harbor right there. You got dolphins. Imagine if a dolphin hit a boat or something like that, or they hit it with their diver board and slowed them down. All right, so there's 197. That's Craig. Cool. The fleet looks a lot closer.
Yep.
Everyone got to the mark super fast. If the wind stays up, we'll have to move the mark up a little farther. Make them take a little bit longer, spread them out a little bit more. It's chaotic when everybody comes to the mark at the same time.
Oops, yeah.
Yeah, C-class. If you don't put that mark too far up, you got problems.
So Josh passing us now. So
Yeah,
that's
he
like
is
the halfway
right here.
point.
So Joss is on one side, and Craig and Tanaj are right on the other side. So I'd say there's less than 10 seconds difference. I think Tanaj is pointing towards the Dolphins. Yeah, that's pretty cool. A little treat for our Nassau visitors who probably don't get a whole lot of dolphins that they can see in Montague Harbor. But yeah, hopefully they don't get too distracted. All right, so next up, Tyrese. Wow, Tyrese is sailing so well. I'm very impressed that he has a chance to become 4th overall in his first Sunfish regatta in heavy wind. I would not have guessed that. So good for him. Here's Aiden Sumner passing on the other side. So Aiden, Dai, and Tyrese super close. Emmett's coming right now, along with Rico. So we got Caden Knowles is approaching us now, and he had a problem with his boat. Apparently, his plug was out, his stern plug, and he swears that it was in when he was checking his boat before he launched. So I don't know if it jarred loose by accident or someone did something nefarious and took it out, but either way, his boat was taking on a whole lot of water in the first race. We had to kind of haul it up on the back of the trawler here and drain most of it out. He should be in much better shape now. It's not 100%, but I wouldn't say he's much worse off than some of the other boats out there. But he's right here in the middle of the pack, right behind Nash Cartwright right now. And this is very nice having them come right next to us because we can see them all very closely. Hard to tell if the wind is lightened up or not. There's a decent amount of chop on the water right now. It's kind of hard to tell. Well, this race, I think, will tell us a lot going into the last race. If Tanaj manages to win another one, it's going to be really close in the last race. Really close. Joss would probably most likely have to beat him in the last race to secure the championship. Because Joss beat him 3 out of 4 races yesterday, but now Tanaj, if he wins this one, would have beat him twice plus yesterday, so that'd be 3-3, and we would need one of them to do the tiebreaker. So here's on your screen the leaders. Number 17, that's Joss. You can see he has the new ISCA logo on his sail. All the new sails that are made for Sunfish now have that logo instead of the fish on it. So they're making a little change to the logos there. I don't know if you've noticed, but all the sails that we got from our Sail East sailmaker, the Sunfish logo's upside down.
It is?
Yes. It's pretty funny. I think it looks better. It looks more aggressive and menacing. But that's pretty funny. So Joss has a pretty good lead. He definitely can choose his own race now. Tanaj and Craig will have a choice to make on which side they go on. I'm betting Tanaj is going to go to the left side of the course for sure. It looks so is Joss. We'll see if Tanaj follows or not. But I think this is a good lesson for what the Gens rig does for the Sunfish. Because Joss was full rig on that first race, and it was just too much. It's like in sloops, if you put the wrong sail on and your sail's too big, you're not going to have a chance. So you need to have a little bit more control over the power of your boat, and that's what the Gens rig does. It lowers the point of contact on the gaff boom and the mast, so the top part of the sail flexes more and spills air automatically. So Joss and Tanaj went to the left, Craig went to the right. He did that similar move yesterday, and it paid off big time. He won the race.
Craig?
Yep, but that was on the final leg from the gate to the finish. It wasn't all the way to the upwind mark. So they still got a long way to go.
Yeah, they have a righty right now, so I'd hope he talks soon.
Yeah.
Just sailing on the header.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get too far away from those guys for sure. Who's this touching my mark? Dai? Did he touch that? That was pretty dang close. There's Emmett. All right, so Aiden is going to choose the other side. He says it's a little too crowded over there. If it's good enough for Craig, it's good enough for me. He's going for it. Behind him is Rico. I don't know why I keep getting those two confused. And then approaching with that other red, white, and blue sail, I think that's Nash. And probably Keanu in the Bahamas colored sail. I think I heard some squealing from upstairs. I think they saw the dolphins. They're pretty excited. Yeah, there's Nash. So I think the hull that he has is definitely serving him a little better than the one he had yesterday. Doesn't seem to be leaking quite as bad. Because that one yesterday, he was definitely getting slower as the regatta went on. There's Keanu around. So, on the downwind, Alvin, are you allowed to rock your boat back and forth to try to create movement if something's not working for you?
Yes and no at the same time. So basically, it's a rule 42, like propulsion and stuff with like body movement and all that. So it's like a certain limit. You could move forward and off, and you could kind of lean in and back out, but it has to be like, it's like 1 pump per wave.
Okay.
So, and it has to be like in a wave. It can't be flat water and you doing these stuff. That's obviously propulsion.
So you're not allowed to use your body weight to create movement for the boat. Like you have to use the wind and the sails, but you could use your body in conjunction with the sails if the conditions are right. So one thing the jury looks for when the boats are coming straight at them downwind, they look for the mast and the sail rocking back and forth constantly. So if, let's say you're in a swimming pool and there's no wind and you have a boat with a dagger board on it, you could move your boat forward just by rocking the boat back and forth, right? Yeah, so that's what they're looking for. And when the wind gets light, you don't want to have people trying to scooch their boat forward using anything but the sails. So you see it more in the light air when it's kind of hard to find speed. But when you have waves, the boats are going so fast and you're surfing and everything, you don't see it quite as much. But it's always something you gotta keep an eye out. You don't want to, practice real hard and then go to a big international competition and have people, throwing flags at you and disqualifying you because you're doing something you shouldn't be.
When you do it too much, you can get thrown at the regatta.
Yep, you do it. You get flagged twice in one race, you're out of that race, disqualified, and then if you do it again after that, you're out of the entire competition. So it's a heavy penalty. You definitely do not want to do anything to break the rules. You want to win fair and square. So here's Joss coming right towards us. His boat looks pretty good. He's got it nice and flat. He said his favorite conditions to sail in are when he can hike 100% and get his boat flat. So we're almost there right now. You see him leaning his shoulders out when a nice puff hits and he's able to get that mast to stand up. So that's probably pretty good conditions for him, I think.
Tanaj talking away, going deeper.
Yeah, Tanaj is going pretty far to the left. Joss is tacking now. Yep. They are right out from us right now. So Joss is actually passing where the finish line would be, and he has quite a significant windward advantage on Tanaj right now. And let's see, where is Craig? Craig is on the other side of us, and Joss is closer to Craig. If Joss was to tack, him and Craig would be a little closer, but I still think he's ahead. But I think Joss and Craig are closer than Joss and Tanaj are right now. So Craig chose to go a little bit farther to the right, and they're both on starboard tack right now, which is the more powerful tack. And with the waves coming straight at you, you want to definitely have power in your rig to punch through the waves and not let the waves slow you down. Josh just grabbed something out of the water and flung it in the air. It's like a stick or something. I just saw it like, whee, go up in the air. So he's obviously having a good time. So Tanaj is tacked onto port. And the Sunfish allows you to point slightly higher on port tack. It's because the way the boom sets on the left side of the mast, it centers the boom more in the middle of the boat on port tack. So you're actually able to point more, but you do lose a little bit of power in the rig when you do that. So it's a bit of a gamble. So right there you can see the difference in those two. That's about the gap that they have on each other. And coming past us right now at the finish line, which will be the finish line the next lap, is Tyrese and Dai, who are very close. They're competitors in the Exuma Sailing Club together. Craig has gone past us. I would say Joss is probably going to cross Craig when they tack, but it is a little hard to tell. Look right here, Alvin. What do you think? You can actually see them with your own eyes.
Yeah, Joss definitely of them.
All right. So they should be doing their tack for the mark pretty soon. You don't want to get too far out to the entrance of the harbor there. You got a lot of waves out there, so you got to be a little careful. And we look back here, we've got Nash, and something's wrong with, oh man, something happened to Rico's sail. His outhaul pulled off.
Yeah.
Oh man, you hate to see that. That's a knot that you definitely got to check more than others, eh? That one definitely comes off more than the other ones. So he'll come in for a quick repair. Luckily for him, I don't think he's had a breakdown yet, so he will be able to throw this race out. And he was in pretty good shape. Yeah, he's had nothing but 7, 7, 5, 3, and then that last race he did pretty well. So, what happened?
Not even close.
Oh, they crossing now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh definitely turned the engine on.
Yeah, that Jens rig definitely helped him control his boat a little better. All right, and over here, boy, Keanu went far right. All right, so he figured he had nothing to lose. That's the only reason you would go that far off the course. You're going over there hoping for a shift. That's going to help lift you past the competition. And Emmett is still sailing, thank goodness, so he hasn't sunk yet. And he's right on top of Aiden. But yeah, it's everyone's moving very fast. Dwayne Bain, who had to replace his rudder, is coming downwind right now. He hasn't caught anybody yet, but good for him for finishing the race. You don't want to give up.
Is a time limit on?
Yeah, there is a time limit. After the first boat finishes, he'll have 20 minutes to finish the race. And I think he'll be within that time limit, I hope.
Yeah, so I think Tanaj still in second too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joss went pretty far to the left. He's got to be almost on that ley line by now. Pretty close. He's trying to, I think, get into some flat water, and then he's hoping there's a slight left bend off a stalking island, which is going to help him point really high to the mark. But he is in flat water and moving very quickly right now. He's just on top of Tanaj. So that should be a good race. Those are the current leaders in the regatta, first and second overall. So if Joss wins this one and Tanaj gets a second, it'll be really close going into the last race. Although if Joss throws out that fifth that he just got, that will help him a whole lot. But we'll see what happens.
Definitely gonna be match racing on the last race for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, they gotta keep one eye on Craig, but then yeah, Jeff, definitely it'll be between the two of them, which is great because last year that was what Craig and Joshua were doing to everybody else. It was just them two way out in front. Norman was up in there as well, but now those guys have aged out, so Craig's the only one here. He's the defending champion, trying to repeat as junior champion. That looks pretty unlikely at this point. I think Joss or Tanaj are going to end up ahead of him, which is a question of what order they're going to finish in. So the Exuma team was super motivated since last year juniors to try to regain the title here in Elizabeth Harbor, and they're doing a pretty good job of it so far. What's interesting is little D right here, Dallas Clark, is he's almost caught up to Adron. And little D struggled a whole lot yesterday. He was pretty far down. He's 15, 16, but now he's a little further up in the finishes. So hopefully he has a better day. He can end it on a high note. But he's one of our most consistent sailors. He's been in the club for about 3 years now, and comes to all the practices and loves to sail, loves to go to the regatta, is always a fun guy. So I'm glad he's sticking with the Sunfish, even though right now he's at a bit of a disadvantage. It's a new boat, he's very small, but I think if he sticks with it, I think he'll do very well.
So yeah, they coming to the mark now. Josh got about 2 minutes left, I'd say, before he hit the ley line. That's
actually pretty close. Tanaj might have overstood. Either way, he doesn't have to tack until he gets to the mark. Joss is going to tack right pretty close to the starboard ley line, and he should be at the mark just ahead of Tanaj. Really hope we don't have any more of these situations between these two at the windward mark. We've had enough of them already. They've collided and touched the buoy at least on 2 or 3 different races already, so hopefully we can put that to rest.
Yeah, so you talk. look like a big alley coming on now. Be right down.
Yeah, at least it's going to be a clean rounding, so there are no collisions this time. Thank goodness. Let's make sure we get around without touching the mark, both of you guys. And we had a situation yesterday, if you remember, if you watched the replay. Boy, he caught up a lot, eh?
Yeah.
Where Tanaj tacked underneath Joss, and both of them were short of the ley line. So there was an overlap, and neither Joss nor Tanaj were going to make the mark. So they both had to tack again. But instead of waiting for Joss to tack, Tanaj just tacked right up into him and hit him, okay, right at the mark. And then he also touched the mark, but he only did one penalty turn. And I told him, you have to do 2 penalty turns if there's clear contact, no matter what the other sailor says, because I think, like Joss said something like, just do 1 or something like that. So you don't allow your competition to tell you how many turns you're supposed to do. You need to know the rules. If you collide with somebody, especially attacking situation, you got to do your 2 turns, and then you can keep sailing. So there's Craig in 3rd place, and there's a bit of a gap between him and Tanaj and Joss. Who's that coming up?
I think Guy.
I think that's Dai. Yeah, and then windward of him is Tyrese. So I think Dai's repair is definitely holding. His boat is much faster today. He seems to be moving very well.
Might be his best race.
Yeah, well, he got a 4th in the first race, so this will tie that. Yep. He started off really hot. He was actually the first one at the mark on the first race. Yeah, so we were like, what is going on? Dai came to sail, so he just made a small error, definitely tacked too soon, so he's going to have to do a double tack to get to the mark here. And thankfully in Sunfish, it's not too painful, not like an E-class or a C-class or something. Doing a double tack at the mark is like your worst nightmare, but there he is, he's around. He cuts it so close. I don't know why they like to cut it so close. So he definitely opened up on Tyrese a little bit. They were pretty even at the gate. So what do you think is helping Tyrese so much in this breeze? What about his rig or his sail and anything else? Like what's he doing to help him control his boat so much better than some of the other smaller guys?
Okay, so to me, like no matter what, I mean, you always could do stuff to decrease the power and stuff in your boat, but hiking is just always going to be key. So to me, probably hiking more.
Yep.
And then just his style of sailing and like how he's sailing it.
Yeah.
Probably being more aggressive and you're just able to hike more.
Yeah.
Really.
One thing I've noticed too is his sail is very flat. So he's got the outhaul and the Cunningham quite tight. And then he's got the Jens rig on, so he's automatically depowered from that. And then he's got a flat sail and heavy wind, so it's not super powerful. Whereas Emmett's sail is a little older, has a lot more camber and curve to it, so it's a little too powerful for him. So I think that's why he's struggling a little bit more too. But, you know, I think Tyrese might have found his next boat. He certainly seems to have a knack for the Sunfish, which is great because there's a lot of opportunities to sail them in the Bahamas. We have our club regatta coming up on New Year's right here in Georgetown, so he'll have another shot at it in about 6 weeks.
Hopefully there for that.
Yep, I think we're gonna have to do an open fleet now because you're gonna be too old, and pretty soon Tanaj and Joss will be too old, and we want to give you guys a chance to keep sailing as well.
It'd be nice to get you in there.
Yeah, I would like to actually sail. That would be fun. I lose all my respect. And you getting ready for the best of the best too, right? You sailing Miss Agnes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who's your crew?
Probably me and Dontrell.
All right, that's a good team. Who's your money on for the E-Class Championship and best of the best?
Well, I have to go with myself.
All right.
But Long Island got what the boat name?
Lady Anne-Marie.
Yeah,
Yep, very
that's
tough.
A very fast boat.
Yep, definitely.
The Lucha boys can be there.
Well, the Eleuthera boat will be there, but Finley won't be there. He's going to be at Opti Worlds, so it'll be a rookie sailor. So I don't think they'll be as competitive as they were in Georgetown.
So Martin wouldn't be there either.
No. Yeah. Yep. And then what about the defending champion?
Who is it?
Kayla.
Kayla? Oh, yeah.
Definitely gotta watch Lady Kayla and Mako and those guys. They know how to handle those boats. But I think you're right. I think you and the Long Island boat definitely are going to be what most people are watching, along with Joss and Tanaj and Emmett and those guys, because they just spend so much time in the boats. So Joss and Tanaj are passing us right now. Tanaj has closed the gap a little bit. Joss is still ahead. So this is going to be a dogfight to the finish. You're going to see some really, really fun tactics between these two guys. A lot of covering, trying to block them. Craig is going through on the other side right now. He's a ways behind them, but pretty far ahead of Dai, who's the next boat. So he's in pretty good shape for third right now, barring some sort of massive shift at the gate. This is where they should stack up, except we don't know how Joss and Tanaj are going to finish yet. Right now we've got, we got Dai coming next, along with Tyrese and Emmett, and then behind them are the three BNSS sailors, Aiden, Nash, and Caden. And not Tyrese, Keanu is up in there with them as well.
No, I think one of them is Rico.
No, Rico is still tied up behind us.
Oh, he's behind us?
Yeah, his clue came untied, so he's out of this race. I think the wind might have lightened slightly, but it's still good breeze. I'd say we have at least 12 knots. Mild chop, not a lot of white caps. Emmett's boat seems to be holding together pretty well. Must have been some good duct tape. He definitely is hanging with Tyrese, which he wasn't able to do much yesterday. You can see Carson and his team doing a great job. Gray's Media Productions, Christina at the helm, directing everybody. Got Neil and Cassidy on the cameras. They're doing a great job bringing you guys this footage. I know all the family of these sailors that can't be here, they really, really enjoy getting to watch the races. I think it's come to the point now, Alvin, where this is pretty much expected from every regatta in the Bahamas. Like if you don't have a live feed, people, they're like, what is going on? Is this 10 years ago? Because I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, even Barataria, Rollville, Georgetown, everybody's got feeds now. And then for the ESC, of course, we are the ones that gave Carson his first feed for the ESC regatta a few years ago, and he's just gotten better and better and more streamlined on every regatta. So we really love having him help us, and we appreciate the hard work he's doing.
Tanaj with a lot of kinetics. I think they neck and neck right now.
Yeah, they are.
They can split for sure.
Yep, they're going to be a big split. And I think Joss is on the side he wants to be on. So who's going to blink first? Wow, this is awesome.
Yeah,
this
the exact
is
same time.
awesome. Look at that. Boy, oh boy.
It was a big right shift though. Yeah,
Boy, oh boy. Bragging rights on the line right here. This will be fun. All right, Tanaj blink first. How was that tack? You think it was too aggressive, or you think it was a good tack?
It was a nice tack.
Yeah. All right. Good. And here's Craig. Craig's also going to that side, so he also thinks the right side might have been favored. He thinks he sees that right shift as well.
Can't count him out yet. I didn't see him come back from
definitely. The only thing that's in Joss and Tanaj's favor is it's not very far from the gate to the finish. So Craig has very little time to make a move. He's definitely going to need to catch a shift in his favor.
Joss talk. I guarantee. I think Tanaj can talk back because I don't think he'd be cross.
And Tanaj got stuck behind a Dai there.
Ooh, close.
Yep. Joss got him. So Tanaj is going to stay leeward in case there's a big header, then he'll tack immediately. So yeah, this is going to be a covering duel between Joss and Tanaj right now. Joss is just going to stay windward of him. If Tanaj tacks and tries to go behind his stern, Joss will wait about 5 seconds and then go on to the same tack. But Tanaj definitely points very high. But I think he does give up some speed when he does that a little bit too. Joss tends to sail a little lower, but Tanaj is pointing super high. So there he goes again, and Joss is going to stay right on top of him. So you'll see this dance go on until the very finish, and then it may just come down to who has starboard at the finish line. But
Joss getting aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. What a great race. Great race between these two guys. Definitely the two best sailors in the ESC Junior under 19 division right now for sure. And they are fierce competitors in pretty much every boat they sail. Tanaj was a little late to the Opties, so him and Joss never really competed in the Opti, but certainly in the E-Class and in Sunfish and Lasers, very competitive. In the meantime, Craig is just waiting in the back. He's like, yep, y'all keep tacking, and I'll just keep watching for that shift. And you never know, but yeah, this is... oh, boy. Are they still talking to each other at this point, or is Tanaj starting to curse him a little bit because he's covering him so tight?
Tanaj probably doing that. That's correct.
But I mean, that's the name of the game, you know. You got to try to win. You're not going to let your opponent go. In this situation, Tanaj is really trying to out-tack him. So this will...
He's getting closer, though.
He is. So this will come down to who has better tacks, you know. You don't want to lose. If you lose a little bit of speed versus your opponent on every tack, then your opponent is going to gain on you. So Joss will probably do well to maybe get a little bit of space. They've both done 1,000 tacks in the Sunfish at this point, so it's routine for them for sure. But yeah, this one's going to come right down to the end. So I'm going to go record the finish, Alvin, and you take them to the finish line.
Yes, sir. Ooh, he might have the duck slide. Oof, right there. Okay, but if Tanaj get more speed, he could sail through that zone. Oh no, he can't do it. Yeah. You can't protest that though, because once you switch sides when it's like that, then yeah, that person automatically has like leeward rights and stuff. Yeah. I think. Joss talk back again. Aggressive moments, trying to get all the power he could out of the boat. Tanaj talk back again. Might have to be another duck. He should. If he duck, just keep going and sail to the line. Yes. Okay. Okay, Joss talk right on top of him, but Tanaj has speed. That's why good talk is important. Coming neck and neck. Whoever have the better kinetics is probably who can win. Ooh, and he make Joss talk away. Okay, and Tanaj is covering now, so Tanaj got the ball in his hand now. Yeah, woo! Close, but I think Tanaj got it. And I think Joss talk away again. Tanaj keep going. Yeah. Just keep going. Just go through the line. Nice. You ain't even no need to protest anymore. Nice race from Tanaj. Joss second. And then I think coming in third is Craig. That was a very close race. Most fun to watch. So coming now on Port Talk is third place finisher. Last year champion, defending champion, Craig Ferguson. And he is through. Talking right there, 197. So I think that's Dwayne being coming on now. No, that's Kai, I think. Yeah, that's Kai. I don't know what place he is in right now. In Green Fleet. Yeah, I think DeAndre had him. And then coming now is Dai Major with a Ford, so one of his best races. Trying to keep it consistent. I'm talking right there on starboard, coming through the line. And he is through. That's fourth place right there. And then in fifth, I think, is Tyrese. Yeah, fifth place right there. Having a really good race. Younger, smaller, first regatta. Fifth place. I'm fighting for fourth. Yeah, because we got a DNF, so he might be able to get a fourth place in his first regatta. It'd be really nice. And that's him talking right there. Coming through the line. Right here is Aiden Sumner of the BNSF. Another really good sailor. Aiden is now through. I think that was sixth place, yeah. And then Emmett Knowles coming through the line, seventh place. And one of his best races so far. Duct tape holding up, look like. And then we have Keanu Hutchison. Another good sailor coming through. I think this is Nash. Yeah, Nash caught right. Fresh out of Ortiz. And it's a close race between. Oh no, he got him. And behind him, closely behind him, is Caden Knowles. Somewhere around 10th place, I think. Finishes there, just relaxing, feeling, prepping their boat for the next race. So right here we have all the finishers just gathering up, prepping their boat for the next race, just talking about what happened. That last race, the shifts and what they experienced and stuff like that, or just resting. I think coming downwind right there is Dwayne. He had a very, very late start. And pink, white, and blue sail on your screen, Silas Monroe. Having a nice race. Okay, so we're gonna allow the rest of the sailors to finish, and then we're gonna take a 30-minute lunch break, give all the sailors lunch, and prep and stuff for the next race. So yeah, we'll be back.
Boy, oh boy. Bragging rights on the line right here. This will be fun. All right, Tanaj blink first. How was that tack? You think it was too aggressive, or you think it was a good tack?
It was a nice tack.
Yeah. All right. Good. And here's Craig. Craig's also going to that side, so he also thinks the right side might have been favored. He thinks he sees that right shift as well.
Can't count him out yet. I didn't see him come back from
definitely,
flowers.
definitely. The only thing that's in Joss and Tanaj's favor is it's not very far from the gate to the finish, so Craig has very little time to make a move. He's definitely going to need to catch a shift in his favor.
Joss talk. I guarantee. I think Tanaj can talk back because I don't think he can cross.
And Tanaj got stuck behind a die there.
Ooh, close.
Yep, Joss got him. So Tanaj is going to stay leeward in case there's a big header. Then he'll tack immediately. So, yeah, this is going to be a covering duel between Joss and Tanaj right now. Joss is just going to stay windward of him. If Tanaj tacks and tries to go behind his stern, Joss will wait about 5 seconds and then go on to the same tack. But Tanaj definitely points very high, but I think he does give up some speed when he does that a little bit too. Joss tends to sail a little lower, but Tanaj is pointing super high. So there he goes again, and Joss is going to stay right on top of him. So you'll see this dance go on until the very finish, and then it may just come down to who has starboard at the finish line. But
Joss getting aggressive.
yeah, boy, what a great race. Great race between these two guys. Definitely the two best sailors in the ESC Junior under 19 division right now for sure. And they are fierce competitors in pretty much every boat they sail. Tanaj was a little late to the Opties, so him and Joss never really competed in the Opti, but certainly in the E-Class and in Sunfish and Lasers, very competitive. In the meantime, Craig is just waiting in the back. He's like, yep, y'all keep tacking, and I'll just keep watching for that shift. And you never know, but yeah, this is oh boy. Are they still talking to each other at this point, or is Tanaj starting to curse him a little bit because he's covering him so tight?
Tanaj probably doing that. That's correct.
But I mean, that's the name of the game, you know. You got to try to win. You're not going to let your opponent go. In this situation, Tanaj is really trying to out-tack him, so this will...
He's getting closer, though.
He is. So this will come down to who has better tacks, you know? You don't want to lose... If you lose a little bit of speed versus your opponent on every tack, then your opponent is going to gain on you. So Joss will probably do well to maybe get a little bit of space. They've both done 1,000 tacks in the Sunfish at this point, so it's routine for them for sure. But yeah, this one's gonna come right down to the end. So I'm gonna go record the finish, Alvin, and you take them to the finish line.
Yes, sir. Ooh, he might have the duck slide right there. Okay, but if Tanaj get more speed, he could sail through that zone. Oh no, he can't do it. Yeah. You can't protest that though, because once you switch sides when it's like that, then yeah, that person automatically has like leeward rights and stuff. Yeah. I think. Joss talk back again. Aggressive moments. Trying to get all the power you could out of the boat. Tanaj talk back again. Might have to be another duck. He said if he duck, just keep going and sail to the line. Yes. Okay. Okay, Joss talk right on top of him, but Tanaj has speed. That's why good talk is important. Coming neck and neck. Whoever have the better kinetics is probably who can win. Ooh, and he make Joss talk away. Okay, and Tanaj is covering now, so Tanaj got the ball and it's on now. Yeah, woo! Close, but I think Tanaj got it. And I think Joss talk away again. Tanaj keep going. Yeah. Just keep going. Just go to the line. Nice. You ain't even no need to protest anymore. Nice race from Tanaj. Jaw second. And then I think coming in third is Craig. That was a very close race. Most fun to watch. So coming now on Port Talk is third place finisher. Last year champion, defending champion, Craig Ferguson. And he is through. Talking right there, 197. So I think that's Dwayne being coming on now. No, that's Kai, I think. Yeah, that's Kai. I don't know what place he is in right now. In Green Fleet. And I think DeAndre had him. And then coming now is Dai Major with a fourth, so one of his best races. Trying to keep it consistent. I'm talking right there on starboard, coming through the line. And he is through. That's fourth.
All right, so I'm standing here with some sailors from Nassau. I'm going to ask the coach to go ahead and introduce himself and let me know a little bit about the experience so far.
All right. Coach Pedro here from the Bahamas National Sailing School. We are here at the 2024 Sunfish Junior Nationals. I have two of the sailors that we came down from Nassau, 2 out of 8, that is. And we had 1 day of racing down, 4 races in. And today we got another 3 more races to go. And these guys are all battling for that top 3 finish, of course. So a lot of close racing out there yesterday and beautiful conditions this morning. And looking forward to see what the rest of the day holds.
Hi guys, I'm Craig. I was here last year. The conditions so far have been great. I mean, they're always great in Exuma. I mean, it's Exuma. So the win yesterday gave me a little bit of challenge. There was a big lefty that always came at the top mark, and I didn't really understand it for a few races, but I think I got it down now, and I'm happy to fight with Joss and Tanaj.
Awesome. So, yeah, if you've been watching any of the races from yesterday, you can see that Craig is right up there. They've been trading places. I mean, all the races yesterday, we had, different persons coming out on top. And so they were really trading places for the top 3. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me. I know you're probably new. This your first time sailing Exuma?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me and tell me a little bit about what you've been experiencing so far.
Good day, guys. My name is Rico. This has been my first time sailing Exuma. So far, I love the conditions, not like Nassau, so it's been a pleasure sailing in beautiful Exuma conditions. And yesterday, I put up a good fight. Could have been a bit better, but due to the winds, I was struggling a little bit. But hopefully, I'll do better today and try my best.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it. This is the Nassau team. They're here. They're enjoying this beautiful Exuma weather. They're enjoying sailing in one of the most beautiful harbors here in the Bahamas. Stay tuned with the broadcast. We've got more race action coming to you right after this.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the last and final race of the Sunfish Junior Championship 2024, and we have less than a minute to go. And you can see everyone just jumble up on the line. We have first and second place tied right now at the moment, so I expect to be probably some type of match racing going on and them fighting. And then Craig is still in the mix too, so still can't count him out. If they fight too much, then Craig could sneak up, get a win, and he could win the regatta depending on how far back they go. Look like 5 seconds or something left to go, everyone. Yep, that was the start right there. So Joss looked like he won the start, which is good for him. He's one of the persons tied for first. Second place is right windward of him, but slightly bow back or stern back. And then third place, I don't know where he is. That's Emmett right there, 197 BAH. Talking right there, trying to get on to starboard. I guess that's the lifted talk. And we have number 19 Dippin, which is Dallas Clark. Everyone just chilling on starboard talk right now. I guess it's something to the left side. It's just that much of a lift. Tanaj sailing very high mode though, separating between him and Joss. Caden Knowles on port talk, ducking behind off of the fleet. Rico right there in the middle of the screen with the red stripe, red, white, and blue sail. Talk just now. Die Major, leeward of Joss Knowles, and leeward of Die is Craig right there. Then we got Tyrese ducking. Plenty people, Silas there. So it look like they're chasing pressure right now. If you did look just now, it's like a band of pressure coming down right there. So they're probably going towards that, trying to get more speed. Of Kaylee Bars right there in the pink boat. Number 31. Okay, so everyone just dipping headed straight for the left side. I think Josh don't want to talk unless he get crossed Tanaj, because he know if he talk and then Tanaj just can talk on top of him. But he flying right now. I think he might be able to cross. I think that was Caden just now who talked. And then we got Silas and Tiandre, I think. Yeah, that's first green fleeter right there. Craig talk and ducking behind Tanaj. Josh still going to the left side. Tanaj just can follow him the whole way around just to make sure you don't get too far. Whoever wins this race wins the regatta, so a lot on the line. Yeah, they digging deep into the left. Probably going straight to the lee. I think Josh talked just now. Tanaj might have him. Yeah. So, but he still talked before him. So right now, I think in first, neck and neck is Tanaj, then Joss, then we have Craig, then I can't tell who in the top 5. I think that might be Caden or Rico. Josh talking again, not a good time. Tanaj probably pulling ahead. Talk back.
All right, here we go. Final race, race number 7. Alvin, how's it looking between the top two guys, Joss and Tanaj, the dual race?
Still
within the
duking it
race? Too close?
Yeah.
It should be a good one. They're very evenly matched.
Joss might overstand a little bit.
Especially if there's a left shift closer up into the land. Yep, another clean start. Kaylee Gray had a capsize right before the start, about a minute to go. She's just got her boat up, so she's just joining in the race now.
That's Tyrese.
Yeah, that's Tyrese, number 12, continuing to sail well. All right, well, it's all going to come down to this. I think Craig Ferguson is pretty securely in third place overall. I don't see him losing that position. I also don't see him being able to catch Joss and Tanaj, so he's going to be the third place winner at this year's event. The first place is going to be between the two Exuma boats, Joss and Tanaj. They are tied with the throwouts going into this race, so it'll all come down to who beats who in this one, most likely.
Close cross right there.
Yeah, that's Tyrese and Emmett, old Opti rivals, very close to each other in this final race. I think Emmett's only beat Tyrese once in this whole regatta, so I'm sure he wants to beat him in the last race. But there they are, right next to each other. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Joss did overstand.
Yeah.
So Tanaj should likely get there first. And Joss will pull down pretty soon and slack his sheet. Come in there on a broad reach. Both of them kind of overstood a bit.
Craig coming in. He looking good.
Yeah. And it is likely that Craig would win this race because these two guys are going to be so focused on each other. They're not going to be concerned.
I just hope they don't let other people catch them.
It's Alvin's sail just, or not Alvin, Tanaj's sail just spilled out. What that was about. Craig's going to luff around. Yeah, double tack. Here comes Joss. So as we expected, super close between everybody. Now on to the downwind. This race is going to be over in about 35 minutes. That's what we've been averaging today. So that's Aiden Sumner right there, 5061. And then this would be Rico. He's back in the fight after fixing his sail in that last race. And here's Dai, who's having a much better Sunday than Saturday, so he's right there in the mix as well.
You think if Tyrese beats Rico to this last race, you think he'd have fought or no?
Let's see. They were going into today. They were only Rico was 5 points ahead. And let me get the results and see where they stand up right now. Because yeah, that would be that's a close fight right there for fourth place. And Tyrese was only 1 point ahead of Keanu and Aiden going into today as well. But I know he beat him in the last race. I don't know if he beat them in race number 5. All right, so in race number 5, Tyrese had a 5 and Rico had a 3. Okay, so Rico would increase his lead, but then Rico also had a DNF and Tyrese had another 5th. So that would put Rico would then be 8 points ahead, throw out a 7. I don't know. I got to do some math. But yeah, it would be close. But Tyrese has definitely increased his lead over Keanu, who he beat by 3 in both races. So he's 7 points ahead of Keanu now going into this last race. All right, boy, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of talking on this race. I think these guys are quite focused right now. It's all on the line. They do not want to lose to the other one. Joss certainly does not want Tanaj to come in and win all the races today. So they're going to be sailing really aggressively. Joss admits he made a mistake on the last race, covered Tanaj too tightly on that final upwind. So we'll see if they make any adjustments. They're both going to be very fast. Tanaj is still holding the lead. And there's Joss is off on the left, and Craig is directly behind Tanaj. So with the 2 throwouts, Joss and Tanaj both have 8 points. So it comes right down to this final race. It's going to be interesting. And Craig is securely in 3rd place. He's got 15 right now. And the next closest person to him has over 25 points. So he's in good shape for 3rd place. And Tiandre has also increased his lead over Kai. He's beat him in both races today, so Tiandre has all but locked up the Green Fleet Championship, so he'll be pretty excited about that. Even if he has a terrible race right now, he can get rid of it. So congrats to him.
Oh, still fighting.
Yep, it ain't gonna end. So Joss is gonna try to get behind him, see if he can somewhat gas him and increase his speed and decrease Tanaj's speed. I just hope there's no protest. I do not want this to come down to a protest. Boy.
Let them go.
They're swerving a lot. It's a great shot right there. You can see both the leaders right next to each other, glancing at each other. Very, very close. If this stays like this, they'll probably have a split at the gate again. Yep, very close. Yeah, they're coming by on our right side. I'd say Joss is 1 boat length behind Tanaj, and Craig is a few boat lengths behind the 2 of them, but gaining. And then Aiden is a couple boat lengths behind Craig, so they're all very close. Besides the first race today that Tanaj kind of ran away with, we haven't had a winner win by more than 30 seconds in any race. It's all been very close. There's Dai Major coming right by the committee boat. Moving very well. You can hear the waves from his boat as he goes by. And over here on the other side, Emmett has moved ahead of Tyrese and Keanu and Nash. So the 3 of them are very, very close. They're coming really close to the committee boat here, which would be considered an obstruction. So you're not allowed to run your competitors into the committee boat. You have to give them space. But everyone's moving really fast downwind. There's a nice amount of waves, so you can kind of maneuver your boat back and forth and surf the waves a little bit. Try to keep your bow up so it doesn't dig into the wave in front of you, and pump your main sheet and keep your boat moving pretty fast. So they're doing a pretty good job of that. Certainly have had a lot of practice at it. On your screen right now is Silas, and behind him is Lando Ferguson. They're actually pretty close in the standings going into today. They were 1 point apart from each other, and Silas has beaten Lando in both races, so he would have increased that lead right now. I don't know if Lando has paid attention to who's around him in points, but if he has, he would certainly want to try to beat Silas in this last race. Yep, number 9 is Adron. There's number 33, Kai Harvey.
2nd in Green Fleet.
Yeah, right behind Tiandre, who's number 7. So those 2 have been pretty close. Tiandre's been pretty consistent today, 2 13ths. And then Kai has had a 15th and a 17th. So Tiandre looks to be maintaining that position right around 13th place right now. All right, our leaders are almost at the gate.
Yeah.
Almost at the gate. The gate is right in the sun for us, so it is kind of hard to see.
Tanaj slightly open up a little bit.
Yeah. So it looks like Tanaj is gonna probably, yeah, he's gonna go to the left side of the course, and Joss is, yeah, he's gonna swoop in there and go to the other side. So, ooh, very close, 5 seconds apart or so.
Craig following.
Yep. I think this leg will tell us a lot. Let's see who can get to that windward mark first. I'd say you have a pretty good chance if you get to that windward mark first, although Tanaj did just pull down Joss on the race before and beat him on that last leg. So it's not over until it's over. And Tanaj tacked back pretty quickly. And he's going to have to cross through the fleet here. And he is on port. And all those boats coming downwind are on starboard. So he has no right of way. So he needs to make sure he stays clear of those guys. Think he did that just to stay on the same tack as Joss?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Cross coming up.
Yep. I don't know the last time I've seen them cross in the course. They always tack leeward of each other. So, I mean, I would expect Tanaj to tack. But he's not going to. Now he is. So he's right in front of Joss. Joss is going to try to roll him.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, this is close. Now they're probably screaming at each other. Probably protests and other things going on. So hopefully it's clean. Do not want to settle this in the courtroom. Coming to the gate right now is Tyrese and Keanu and Silas. Tyrese continues to struggle on his buoy roundings, those gate roundings. See how much tighter Keanu's sail was, so he's already able to outpoint him. Tyrese seems to be going very low on his roundings, and it takes a long time to get his sail back in. And that whole time you're doing that, you're opening the door to your competitors getting on top of you. Here comes Adron. He's got the buoy all to himself, so there's no excuse not to do a really nice rounding here. He's done those quite often. So it's pretty good, not too bad. Next up, it's the Green Fleet duel right here. DeAndre Brown, followed by Kai Harvey. They're number 1 and number 2 in the Green Fleet. And Kai is doing very well for his first regatta. He had another penalty in the first race today. I believe it was the first race, might have been the last race, but he fouled somebody near the starting line right after the race started, and he ended up doing 2 penalty turns, and it dropped him back quite far, and he wasn't able to really recover. That's why he came 17th in the last race. All right, got some typical cold front weather. You can see those low gray clouds over the harbor. Temperatures are down a bit. It's very comfortable outside. Nice breeze. The wind, I think, is continuing to lighten slightly. The forecast predicted that it was going to get lighter as the day goes on. And that in these boats, that certainly favors the lighter sailors who would be able to maintain a little bit more speed with the lighter breeze. And here's Emmett. The duct tape hole in his boat seems to be doing pretty well. What do you see about his form and his sail? Anything to point out?
So hiking style, which is nice. The only thing is his shoulders could be out more.
Yeah, he's leaning a bit.
But he got like the basis of everything. You see the movement and the sheeting on the waves.
Yeah.
And the tiller movement and stuff.
Yeah. Do you think the tiller movement's too much?
I mean, with the Sunfish, like the rudder so small, like you say, so it really don't do too much, but it does help a little bit.
Okay. Certainly with the chop, you got to try to maneuver your boat over the chop without losing speed, which is very difficult to do. All right, back to our leaders. There's Tanaj, 5.354. So He's right there in the middle of your screen. We don't know where Joss is in relation to him.
He's scared though. You know, I see him stop looking back yet.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking here. So Tanaj is tacking onto port, and Joss is on port coming right towards us. They're very close, but Tanaj is definitely ahead of Joss right now. Yeah, and I think Craig is even ahead of Joss as well. So Joss is tacking now, and Tanaj is already across his bow. So it's a pretty significant lead. I would probably guess Joss is going to go pretty far to the left side of the course now. I don't know what happened up to this point, but I don't think he's going to make the mistake of getting too close to him. He's probably going to try to spread out a little bit more. Not too far behind. Tanaj is definitely ahead. I would say maybe 5 boat lengths ahead of Joss right now, and now he's tacking to cover. Yeah, so Joss will tack. So that's probably just what's been going on. There's been a whole lot of covering and tacking. Certainly not over. They're both moving very well. They got a ways to go. They're only halfway up to the mark. Craig is out there, just tacked on to port. Tanaj is still ahead of him. And this is Rico right here next to us too. Rico's pretty close to these guys, but they're of course not concerned with where they finish in relation to anybody except for each other.
Tanaj definitely have like a hard task though, because on one side he have someone right there, and on the next side he have someone right there.
Right, exactly.
So he kind of have to go in between.
Yeah. Well, he's lucky that he's ahead of Craig, because if Craig was to come and like start lee-bowing him or blocking him or something like that, then he'd have a really hard time. But Craig is behind him right now, and Craig is behind Joss, I believe. So the two that are vying for the championship are in the front. But yeah, if the wind continues to lighten, he's going to have a harder time too. He'll have a little bit more body mass, but he's hiking hard right now, so there's still breeze out there for sure. And they're both on starboard tack heading towards Starfish Beach. And if you look at their different styles of sailing, Tanaj always seems to sail in high mode, so he sheets in really hard, he hikes hard, and he points the boat very high. And then Joss, sometimes he sails in low mode, so he eases his sail a little bit and sails with more power and speed, but doesn't point quite as high. So now Tanaj is tacking. So he's on port, Joss is on starboard. Looks like he's still well ahead. And they are almost to the mark. So there's not many more tacks left to go. And Joss will probably just go behind him. Nope, Tanaj is tacking again. So he's not going to let him go. It's the right thing to do. You got to tack away. You cannot sail in bad air. So now if there's a big shift to the left, then Joss would be lifted and Tanaj would have to tack very quick to take advantage of it. So now they're both back on port tack. And it's going to be interesting to see if Joss can find anything to get to that ley line quicker than Tanaj, but they're running out of space. They're almost to the mark.
Best situation for him right now is probably a big lefty, and then Tanaj just have to pull all the way
Right,
down.
if Tanaj overstands the ley. Yep. A beautiful day for sailing. It's nice conditions. Everybody's able to move their boats very quickly. They don't have to be too stressed about the weather. It's very comfortable sailing. We have sunshine, but it's not super hot. It's very comfortable. We're right here in the middle of Elizabeth Harbor, midway between the Exuma Sailing Club and Monument on Hideaways. So we got a lot of good clean air around us. The mark isn't too close up under the island like it was yesterday. So it's a little easier for the guys to manage. But when I'm looking around, I'm starting to see patches of the harbor that are definitely lighter than others. So there are areas that have more pressure than others. So that could definitely, see Tanaj just tacked back, so he's on the opposite tack of Joss now. So you could get into a situation where you get into a area with less pressure than your opponent, and that could mean bad news. So we'll see what happens. Joss is also tacked onto port or starboard now.
Closing them on.
Yeah, it is close. Definitely not over. So if one side or the other has a little bit more pressure, you're going to see somebody start to pull ahead. Right now, Tanaj still has the lead, and they are definitely getting closer to the marker. I don't think either of them will make the mistake of overstanding it this time. So yeah, you can see it right there below the hill on Stalking Island. This will be the final windward mark of the regatta for these two guys, and then they'll race on the downwind, try to get to that gate, and it will be a final sprint up to the finish. He's definitely not hiking as much as he was before. He's even scooting in a little bit, so that tells you the pressure's lightened. There's Tamara getting pictures of him. And his sail is set very nicely.
Probably all the stuff they told us in Worlds.
Yep. We had varying conditions in Worlds. We had heavy wind, light wind. Not a lot of chop though. We're used to big chop at Elizabeth Harbor. We didn't have a lot of that in Worlds. Right, so now let's see what happens.
He still might have overstand. Whoa! Yeah, jaws cross.
Joss crossed him, which means there was either a shift or more pressure. All right, so now the coin is flipped where Joss is trying to give Tanaj bad air now. And this is all going to come down to the downwind and then probably an identical tacking duel to the finish. So we'll see if anything changes. But boy, couldn't ask for a better finish, right, Alvin? This is a great regatta. Great regatta. The two Exuma Sailing Club sailors battling it out for the championship. And then they'll, of course, have a rematch in 2 weeks in Nassau in the E-Class. And one Bahamas and Lady Kayla as well. So no shortage of opportunities for these guys to race each other. That's the signs of two intelligent sailors right there. They're very smart. They can read the wind very well. It all comes down to physical and mental ability in sailing. It's a very great sport. Also can be extremely frustrating. All right, I think they're well ahead of the rest of the fleet.
Yeah.
Clean roundings. So they are one clean buoy rounding away from racing to the finish. Very, very close. I would expect them to be dead even at the gate. What do you think?
I think Joss can hold him off.
We'll see. If the wind is lightened up, certainly it'll help him. But look at the gap they've opened up on the rest of the fleet. Like that's
I don't even think Craig in third no more.
I think that's Rico or Aiden. So yeah, they really opened up. There's Craig probably right there, or is that Dai? I can't tell. But yeah, big gap. So what a classic finish. Yeah, that's Craig coming towards us now. So Dai crossed Craig, and Rico is going to be ahead of him as well. Tough finish for him. I guess this will be his throwout race if it finishes like this. So Rico Major is around, followed by Dai Major. I don't know, Dai and Craig probably going to be close here. Dai's got starboard tack here, so yeah, we'll get there ahead of him. Good finish for Dai. Boat's definitely holding together pretty well. All right, close one. Hard to tell if they touch the buoy when the boom goes over like that.
So, if the main sheet touch too, that count?
It's a good question. I don't think so. I think it has to be a part of the rigging or the hull. Yeah. The main sheet droops in the water quite often. As long as it doesn't hook the buoy and like pull your boat into it so your boat touches it.
Body count too.
Yeah. All right, that's Aiden. Aiden Sumner's around. So we're looking for Caden. We're looking for Tyrese, Keanu, Emmett. Those guys should be pretty close now. That's Caden Knowles right there, just tacked onto port. I think that's Emmett coming towards us on starboard.
Look like one of most like spread out races.
Yeah, I agree. This is spread out. I think what happened too is the wind dropped significantly during the race, so people that were ahead tended to stay farther ahead and everyone else kind of dropped back a bit. So I wonder where Tyrese is, because he was right there with Emmett at the gate. Be on the port lay line, because I don't see anybody else coming on starboard.
Yeah, I think that's him right there.
Yeah, boy, that's a big gap. All right, well, our two leaders are still in the same position, coming downwind here, very, very close. Tanaj has definitely caught Joss to the point where he's almost even, maybe one boat length apart between them. So he's definitely able to keep some good downwind speed. Yeah, this is going to be a very close finish. They are also very far off course. They're way out here, and the gate was way down here. So
Making a big banana.
yeah, they're not concerned about what's happening behind them. They're just dueling with each other. They're going to be coming back to that gate on a broad reach.
Tanaj probably running them cross, and Joss don't want to let him get on, like, to say
Yeah.
gas him.
Yep. Wow. They're way off.
Look like they heading for town.
I know, they are. They're pointing towards Georgetown right now. Yeah, very, very close. So what could you do tactically if you're either of those people? What would you do if you were Tanaj, first of all?
If I was Tanaj, I'd keep doing what I'm doing right now. Well, it depends on how far the rest of the fleet is. Like, if I have enough space to play with, but I think they do. So, like, if you keep running them cross like that, eventually what can happen is, like, when it's time now, let's say you might have the chart or something like that, or turn to go to the mark, y'all basically like bow even, and you could outspeed them and then just go around the mark before him.
If you were Joss, would you try to go across his bow and get on the other side of him?
See, it's a risk with that because you can get that little like stall when you pass the sail and you slow down for like
Right.
1 or 2 seconds, and that could be the difference between him getting at a mark there.
It's actually hard to tell
But Joss,
who's on top of who right now.
yeah, Joss could call proper course though, because this is far off.
Yeah.
And he is leeward. Oh no, yeah, he is leeward. I would have run him up so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's doing it now. Left him to China.
I hope we don't see any protesting. So now these guys are on the other side of the committee boat. We've got Rico right here, followed by Dai and Craig. And there is a chance that they will get to the gate before Joss and Tanaj, who are having their own race. And again, it pretty much doesn't matter where they finish. It just matters who finishes ahead of who. So we'll see.
Oh, they still getting far off.
Yeah. Little puff coming through.
So you know overlap, but if he wanted to luff him, he could like pull away a little bit and then just point all the way up.
Yeah.
Or sheet and stall a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. Boy, it's so hard to tell from the angle now because they're going past us.
They don't miss.
Yeah, okay. You can see on the screen that they're definitely overlapped. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting at the mark. Yeah. And there's Emmett coming towards you. Having a much better day than yesterday, despite missing the first race. 5263. That's Nash Cartwright. And then behind him, we got all the Bahamas sails. So here's these two guys. You can see how far off course they are from the rest of the fleet. When they come to the mark, if there's an overlap, Joss will have mark room, and then they would both basically be jibing around that nearest mark. So that would be interesting. Tonnage is ahead right now. All right, we can see the mark. So now it's going to be a sprint for the mark. Joss has to try to get an overlap. And if not, they may split. Yeah, definitely Joss would have inside room here. So the question is Tonnage going to jibe and go behind him, or is he going to go to the other side? And so Joss held him off, but barely. And now they're going to jibe.
They fall on. Trying to get on the inside.
You're going to point up super high, not going to let that happen. So now, here we go. Identical to what just happened. We're going to have a tacking duel to the finish. Except I think you're going to see a looser cover from Joss this time. But yeah, so you could already see how much Tonnage can point compared to Joss. So he's pointing super high. You just better be able to maintain that speed in this lighter breeze. So Joss is going back. This is going to be a classic finish. In the meantime, Rico is catching up. And then Craig will be the next one at the mark.
Got die?
Nope. Yeah, there's Dai. So Dai will be next, and then Craig. I'm sure Dai would like to end this regatta beating Craig Ferguson.
You'd never had an end of it.
No, that'll be a huge highlight for Dai. So you think it's wise for him to come all the way over here?
Definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically sailing away from the mark right now. But he must really like something on this side. In the meantime, Joss and Tonnage are very close. Joss doesn't have much of a windward gap on Tonnage, so he's going to need to run him down. Tonnage tacks. I'm sure Joss will dip him and keep going. Oh boy, synchronized tacking. Look at that.
Tonnage might have caught him.
Yeah, I think he did. All right, I'm going to go record the finishes. Here we go. Alvin's going to bring you to the conclusion of this classic match.
Oof. Yeah. I know Tonnage nervous right now. What most likely gonna happen is Joss can probably sail probably to the ley line and just hope by then he could cross by then. But Tonnage ain't letting him go. He kind of pinning him down right now. Okay, he talk. He can go on starboard. Tonnage probably can talk. Yeah. So Tonnage to leeward. Nah, he probably can try to left Joss. Make Joss talk away. Same exact scenario as last race. Yup, Joss talking away. Then Tonnage can go soon once he builds speed. Yup, talking now. Then letting each other go. Joss talk. Oh, Tonnage might be able to cross straight away. Yeah, he probably can dock on top or right in the front. Yeah. Joss talk back away. Tanaj can build speed. He'll probably go again. Or he might sail straight for the line. He can make it. Oh, nope, talking one more time just to be sure. Yeah. Talk to Leeward. Oh boy, this one could be close. Depends on how the line setup. I think Tanaj still edging him out right now, slightly. Body right there. Can hit him. I think closer to the committee this side. Yeah. Yeah, there's an overlap, right? Yes, right. Wow. Close race. But Tanaj got him. So boy, that can't be a closer finish. It can't be a closer finish than that. Tanaj might edge. You need a replay on that. I never seen that before. That was a close race.
You're gonna make me call, right?
Okay. Okay. So, who is this coming up? I think that's Rico. Yeah. So Rico coming in third place. Nice way to close out the regatta, beating Craig, last year champion. Craig in fourth. So he's gonna be probably third overall. We're still trying to figure out who can win the regatta right now. And then Dai Major in fifth. Bit of a big separation between the rest of the fleet.
Go ahead. Send them to me.
And then we have Aiden Sumners coming in next. Hold on.
She has pictures from that end.
That's real close. Still trying to figure it too. I think this is Emmett coming to the finish line next. Emmett coming through now. Next coming up is, who is this? I think that's Kaden. I've never seen a closer race before in sailing. That was close. That was close. We have Silas and Tyrese coming onto it. Tyrese have starboard. Yeah, Tyrese got it. Then Silas. This is like the I know coming through the line. Last and final race for the Bahamas Sunfish Junior Nationals 2024. So with first and second, we still trying to figure out like who actually won because it was literally that close. Like if you watch the replay, like you can't tell. We trying to get multiple angles just to tell, but we can't decide who can be the junior national champion right now. Okay, we coming in with a replay soon just to show y'all like it's that close. That's the first time I've ever seen that before. Like you need a replay for sailing. It usually gets close, but never seen it this close before. Next coming in is Caden, or Kai Harvey. Yeah, I think he might have beat Tiandre. So, but Tiandre still beat him more races. So, Tiandre still is the Korean Fleet champion. And then Kai would probably be, yeah, Kai is second. Next we have Adrian finishing his last race for the regatta. So we have the replay coming up right now, and you'll be able to see like just how close it was when it came down to the finish. Talk to Leeward. Oh boy, this one could be close. Depends on how the line setup. I think Tanaj still edging them out right now, slightly. Yeah, so we saw Tanaj talk, and basically what happened was he hit like the wind shadow of the trawler because the trawler is just that big, and it slowed him down and gave Joss a chance to like slip in, and he left literally right inside. So it was literally neck and neck, and you couldn't tell. Like from right here, like yes, Tanaj is ahead. But as soon as he hit the wind shadow, it literally became even. Can't tell who won. Right down to the last second. See? Slow it down, and then Joss with a big loss. Can't tell. It's pretty close. Okay, so I think this is Orlando Ferguson finishing. Yep, on starboard. He's now through. Done with his finish, with his last race. As you can see, everyone heading back in now. That was the last race of the 2024 Sunfish Junior Nationals. This is Dallas Clark coming through at the ESC. One of the smaller and younger sailors fighting up until the end. I knew the Sunfish. First regatta in Sunfish. Going through now. So we're just about done with the races. So to sum up everything, we still don't know who won yet, but I'm pretty sure Tiandre won the gold. I mean Green Fleet, and then Kai was second, and then who was third? I think Dwight might have been third. But you could come on. We'll be streaming the closing ceremony later tonight, and we'll have at 5 we'll have all the exact results. You can watch all our sailors get awarded who worked so hard. It's a good event. Yeah. I appreciate everyone who tuned in to the live, and yeah, at 5 we'll be streaming the closing ceremony. We hope you all tune in again to see our sailors get